Well, there we are, walking through the snow here. I think it's December 13, and I've got to really hustle. Oh my goodness. It's a little chilly. It's around 20 below, really. It's not too cold, you know. I should have eaten something though, but I didn't have time, you know. The wife she was off gymnastics. Yeah, I hate it when I inhale those ice crystals. They really set off my lungs, you know, when I get those ice crystals. So, in my lungs, you inhale them. What it is it's a fine snow. These particulate crystals of ice just sort of hang in the air, and they fall, but it's it's like a drizzle, you know. And you get a fine mist rain drizzle, except instead of rain, it's ice crystals. It appears that I may have left my gloves at a friend's place, so I'm going to have to go there and get them, or try to. But I have an old spare pair here, so I'm good. Whew, man, I just slowed right down. Alright, so today, can you believe it? You know, it's not even 5 o'clock. It's getting dark. 'Tis the season, you know. Starts getting dark at 4 o'clock. It's going to get dark even earlier yet. But yeah, I want to do this walkabout here in spite of all the circumstances, lens cap flying in the breeze and everything. But I will at some point have to go down and visit my friend, maybe on the way back, to see if I left my gloves there, because I don't know where else I could have left them. Can't seem to find them, and now I'm running out of time. But it looks, I'm not going to say this for sure, but it looks like maybe my raid cage came in. Anyway, that thing looks handy. Anyway, something came in, that's for sure. And yeah, you know, if I had time, I'd, you know, show what this thing can do. But I have to keep walking. But kind of neat looking device, for sure. Snow removal. Yeah, life in Canada. Oh, waving, all friendly. Yeah, it's not so bad, you know. 20 below is not so bad. If it's not windy, it's not that bad. You know, good ice fishing weather. But I really am hoping that my icy dock, or not my icy dock, my iStar USA SAS SATA containment is in. A raid cage, as they call it. I'd like to get that in my PC. I realize, these are not the most modern devices, but RAID cards still have their place, okay? And I would really like to be able to set that up because, well, I have a growing family, and if I could get my backups and my redundancy going properly, we won't lose anything ever again. Now, recently I had an SSD failure, and it was really bad. Something about a page, trying to write to a non-existent page or something. It was bad. And I really, could not get this SSD going at all until I tried something really, really unorthodox. And I still don't know quite how I figured out how to do it, except that I go through normal boot procedures, and when it came for me to select the operating system that I had already booted off, I changed in midstream and pretended to boot from a different one. Just like, okay, here it is. I'm in Windows 7 Professional, let's say, right? And then would say select operating system instead of Windows 7 Professional. Ooh, easy guy. I would select Windows 8.1. Okay, what I did is I put the SSD in my wife's computer. I don't have 8.1 on my own computer. Okay. Well, then what would happen is 8.1 would boot up, but it would allow me to see the SSD. And the reason, as long as I could see the SSD, maybe there's a chance I can get into it and get the data, right? Because basically, it was like I lost the bootstrap, all right? Okay, so I just wanted to recover my data, and yet I couldn't do it with Windows 7 Ultimate, and I couldn't do it, with my own Windows 7 Professional. I couldn't do it. It wouldn't let me. It blue screen every time. Operating systems are probably too close to each other, But I did manage to do it this way, and managed to retrieve my data. And then I thought to myself, well, if I can do that much, and I can see the SSD, well, I should be able to delete the volume and reformat it, right? After several tries, I realized I was not able to do that. Now, I'm really oversimplifying here. What would happen when I would first boot up the computer with the SSD in it is it would blue screen right away. Okay, I had to try to boot up the computer and get to like I had to do it when the computer was like in 8.1 mode, and then boot it up from 8.1, then look into it, right? And what would happen is, in the middle of the data transfers, the computer would suddenly realize that I booted from the wrong disk, right? They go, oh, there's a problem here, it would shut down. But after about, 4 of these, too late. I had already had all my data retrieved, you know. So I did manage to save my data. Well, almost all my data. I'm very sorry to say that the video of my two girls walking back home from school for hot chocolate and all that is gone. When I walked them home from school. That was the highlight of that weekend, you know. So, yeah, it's been like about a week, you know, since a week of nightmares. But in the meantime, I was ready to RMA this SSD, right? So because I had tried just about everything in the book that they recommended on the help sites at Microsoft and Intel. And you know, I'm pretty good at following directions online, you know. So, new BIOS, you know, there's going to be bugs, right? Everything's brand new on my system. So, yeah, I had to figure out, you know, I had to at least try. And so I had this other idea. Okay, if we can keep tricking the SSD into showing up, and at least for a while, then maybe what I could do is I could put it back in my computer now, and now this page file thing, you know, is dealt with, and see if I can delete the volume from there. And so I did, and of course it blue screened right away, but then I did my little trick of booting to the wrong operating system deliberately, so that I could see the SSD from that operating system, and before it, you know, gave me the warning that I'm on the wrong OS, I attempted to delete the volume, and lo and behold, it deleted. Okay, but of course I still blue screened right after. No problem. One more step done. Yeah, I think I better go to the post office first and then come back here. And of course, so I took her out, put it back in the wife's PC to look at it. Sure enough, new volume. Okay. And attempted a format, and it would not format. Okay. All right. No problem. I'm going to have to RMA this SSD, obviously. Got all my data at least. You know, by now, I'm a little more calmed down. In fact, I think if I had left that data or had moved it to her SSD, I would have still had that video of walking my girls back home from school. But I was so elated that I moved it to a hard drive, and then from there I moved it to a USB, and somewhere in that process that video got corrupted. But least of my worries, I managed to save my critical data, which is the main thing. Okay, critical data, you know, financial statements, stuff like that. Okay, anyway, I digress. Yeah, I was really sweating, boy, I tell you, to lose that. So, I'd take the SSD. I thought, let's give her another go on my computer, now that, you know, my computer's booted for another operating system, and would likely have to reconstitute, right? Okay. Alright, I'm at the post office. I'll talk later.